gracefully. And that is, this evening, we received a request and we scheduled a vote on the issue of permitting the alumni trustee to become a voting member of this board. However, as you can see, there are only 7 of us instead of 10 present who could vote. And that means if I were to conduct a vote this evening, well, I don't know whether you or anyone else would have proper representation. In the past, I purposely delayed the re-election of the officers of this board until I had a full complement of trustees, believing that everyone should vote. It's an important issue. And I would be very disappointed if we took a vote and then someone said, but if so-and-so had been there, it would have been different. As you know, the last time, there was a tie. So what I'm going to do, and hopefully, I can't promise it, but I certainly will make every effort, that we will vote on this at the next meeting, and I'll have a full complement. Because I think you can share my concerns that everyone should vote on this issue. It's very important. And so I want to apologize for the fact that we will not vote this evening on that issue. At this time, however, is there any unfinished business? If not, I'll entertain new business open to the public. So the public is invited to speak.
Even though you will not be voting on it, I would still like to submit the changes that were made to the resolution that was sent in here.
Thank you.
I will again read the entire resolution into record. The resolution is that there be further student representation within the Board of Trustees, submitted by the student government, action reflective purpose. It is the purpose of this proposal to recommend an adjustment of the Board of Trustees. It would be to the benefit of Bergen Community College students to have additional student representation actively participating in board decisions. Whereas the student government, as a governing student body of this institution, aims to promote and advocate for the student voice across campus and in the implementation of college policy, as stated in the preamble of the Student Government Constitution. And whereas the original mandate for community colleges calls for an even division of financial responsibility of the college budget between state contribution, county contribution, and student contribution. And whereas tuition has increased while state and county funding has decreased, forcing the student contribution to make up for the budget deficit. And whereas the college mission clearly includes affordability as part of the statement. And whereas there has been a steady increase in enrollment at Bergen Community College since
Board of Trustees has stated that they will not be voting on student alumni representation,
and whereas
seeing as how they do not
there has not been an
have a
increase
full
in
10-member
student
complement on their
representation
board.
reflecting the increase in financial commitment on behalf of the student body, nor the increase in enrollment. And whereas the documented attendance of the past alumni trustee representation has proven that the vested interest of an alumni is less significant than that of an active student, let it be resolved that the student government calls on the Board of Trustees of Bergen Community College to grant voting privileges to the alumni trustee representative. Let it be further resolved that the student government calls on the Board of Trustees of Bergen Community College to support the student government in its efforts to amend legislation to permit the addition of one voting student trustee representative in addition to the alumni trustee representative. Section 2, findings. It is the findings that this should be of change because increased tuition, increased assurance of attendance by student representation, increased student enrollment, New Jersey college precedents. Section 3, conclusion. Therefore, with the power invested in me as an executive member of Bergen Community College's student government, I hereby propose that, with the board's approval, the above mentioned action be taken in the means as follows. Voting privileges be granted to the student and alumni representative within the Board of Trustees, proposed to be immediately in effect.
Thank you very much, and I can assure you that we will vote, and I think that your idea of having the legislature change the law so as to permit a member of the student trustee representative to be added to the alumni, and of course yours also is to permit that person to vote. But I'm sure that this board will endorse at least a portion of that, if not all of it. I'm not saying what we'll do, but certainly it should be very seriously considered. And I'd just like to make one other observation, and that is Dr. Health, earlier this afternoon at the budget hearing, and myself both commented on the fact that despite the fact that when the community colleges were created and there was a mandate that it be 1/3 by the students, 1/3 by the county, and 1/3 by the state, unfortunately the legislature at that time did not mandate that, and they have refused to do it ever since. And we all join you in trying to see how we can influence the legislature, because really, I believe it's totally unfair that every year, the only place we can go to get additional monies to fund this college and to give you the best possible education is from the students. It's not fair, and I know the faculty doesn't endorse it, the administration doesn't endorse it, neither do I. It should be a fair share, but unfortunately, we can't seem to get that accomplished. But we share your views on it. Thank you again.
With all due respect, I wasn't finished.
Okay?
I would like to meet Sammy. Firstly, I just want to thank the administration for the diligent work that they have committed to the budget and keeping the student burden in mind. When you cut the PR budget in half, that was greatly appreciated, at least by myself, and I'm sure I can speak on behalf of the student body when I say that. Next, I want to thank the faculty and staff for having always kept the students in mind. And lastly, but not least, I want to thank the students for being here, for showing up. And in their defense, I also want to say that having a budget meeting at 3 p.m. is not exactly conducive to a full-time student schedule. To the board, I have to say, this is but a fraction of the students that you make decisions for every time you meet. We inadvertently, and certainly without my intention, but we're forced to put our faith in you. We spend $80 million here at this college, and for that $80 million, we have expectations. Mic check.
Mic check.
Mic check.
Mic check!
We the students.
We the students
Of Bergen Community College.
of Bergen Community College
Are tired of being ignored.
are tired of being ignored.
We the students.
We the students
Of Bergen Community College.
of Bergen Community College
Are tired of being ignored.
are tired of being ignored.
We the students.
We the students
Of Bergen Community College.
of Bergen Community College
Are tired of being ignored.
are tired of being ignored.
We the students.
We the students
Aren't finished.
aren't finished.
We will keep coming back.
We will keep coming back.
And we will not be ignored.
We will not be ignored.
Good evening, President Damas, Chairman Corson, and the board, and good evening to my fellow student body, whom I am proud to represent. I find it interesting that you're not going to take a vote tonight because there's not enough members when it comes to us. What I have to ask you is, will you be voting on everything else tonight?
Probably, because they don't have the consequence that this particular vote would have. And you have yourself said that if it doesn't happen tonight, you're going to keep coming back anyway, and I respect that right, but I do not believe we should vote without a full complement on an issue so important, and it is an important issue.
With all due respect, Chairman, I don't believe you. I've been here long enough to know how this works. I've been here for 3 years. I've come here for multiple issues and watched similar things happen, such as changing the location of a meeting to the Meadowlands at the last minute when a controversial issue was coming up. The student pay cuts, who remembers that?
Wait, I'd like to say something. As chairman, I've been chairman for 3 years. We have never changed the location because there was an issue that was going to be before us, and we felt we had to run away from it. Wherever you got that opinion from, you're wrong.
And you're entitled to your opinion as well. My other question is, what's on the agenda tonight that's okay to vote for that's not important?
I didn't say important. This is a very, very crucial issue. That's what I said. I didn't say everything is important. We have to pay the people. We have to do various things. But this will not be voted on this evening. So it's not going to be.
If you doubt that these students are going to come back at the next meeting, let's see, who's coming back at the next meeting?
I am!
And who's bringing more of their friends with them?
I am!
Thank you.
Imagine my good fortune getting to follow this. I'm Alan Calfin. I'm a member of the Composition and Literature Department of the college. There are 3 things that I would like to talk about tonight. I'll be as concise as I can be. First thing is, at last month's meeting, I pointed out to you that the Faculty Senate would have on its agenda in March this issue that the students have raised. And I just want to notify you that the Senate voted on and passed 2 resolutions last month. The first one, which was approved overwhelmingly, was to support the idea of giving voting rights to the alumni representative. The second resolution that we passed was a resolution that supported, in theory, the idea that a student be added to the Board of Trustees with voting rights, and that a second alternate student be appointed without voting rights. Item number 2. Tomorrow is the 3rd annual Judith K. Wynn School of Honors Bergen Honors Conference. I want to pass out to you the brochure for the conference. At this conference, Bergen students present their work. They present primarily research papers that they've done in their classes. This, as I said, is the 3rd annual conference. This is the first year that there will be, in addition to Bergen students from other colleges. We're going to have 2 students from Mercer Community College presenting and 1 student from Essex. I know it's awfully late to be notifying you of this, but if any of you are available, we certainly welcome you to join us at the conference. This is a wonderful example of the work that the college does. This is where you see the students at their absolute best. Item number 3. 2 weeks ago, approximately 2 weeks ago, all of you received petitions on the issue of the reappointment of Professor Clemenco. Tonight I'm going to provide Carter with a second set of this. The reason why I'm giving it to you again, is because since the petitions were given to you 2 weeks ago, both more people have signed the petitions that you received, and we have also gotten more petitions. We received a petition signed by all of the academic deans, and only today I received one from the College Council. The support for the reappointment of Professor Clemenco was overwhelming, as you can see if you look at the petitions. And I once again urge you on behalf of the faculty, and now I think on behalf of the entire college community, to reappoint Professor Clemenco. From the beginning of the college in 1968, there has always been an agreement